if you've ever been on YouTube and you saw a weirdo wearing a thong, hit that subscribe button. You won't be disappointed. What's up, guys? I hope you're doing well. My name is Pax Perry, and on my channel, I talk about shit. A lot of shit. Everything porn related and sometimes gear related, which happens to be about this video. Mountain stuff, porn stuff, mountain porn, winter porn, summer porn. Yeah, pretty much it. How many of you guys are into BDSM? Because it seems I have an obsession with it. Well, if you want to find that shit, you can check it out on my OnlyFans. So, on to the topic of today's video. What gear do I use to film the most erotic, beautiful... I don't know what you would call it. How to film high-end porn. Besides having a good camera, and the ones that I recommend are probably going to be on like the mid to high tier end. Obviously, I don't have enough money for a fucking Airy camera or a Red camera. I would definitely recommend those because they look outstanding. But it's just not realistic for myself and probably a lot of you guys watching. Yeah, let's just get into the gear. So, first thing is a gimbal. I actually got this, I believe, on a sale. This is the Ronin RS3 Mini, and I would say this is pretty much just as good as the original RS3, which costs like literally twice the price, but this is like around it's under $400, I'm pretty sure, last I checked, and it is fucking amazing. I love this thing. You can't put like a ton of weight on it, but you can put a lot more weight on it than you would like a Weeble gimbal. Now, I've had a Weeble gimbal and it broke, so I don't recommend it. Now, on to the lenses. The first lens I would recommend for filming OnlyFans stuff and YouTube, and probably literally everything, is going to be kind of a budget lens, and this one is the Sony 35 1.8. This is not a G Master, obviously, but it is of a good price point, in my opinion. I got it on sale. Again, I believe for around $560, something like that. I think they usually go around $600 to $700. But this one, which I have a polarizer on it at the moment by NXT or Hoya, whatever it's called. This lens is going to be the best overall lens, and at least in my opinion, for pretty much everything. Photography, it's going to be like that 35 millimeter is probably like the most natural looking focal length in my opinion. And if you have a little bit extra money, I would recommend either the quarter stop Pro Mist filters by I forgot the name of it, but if you look up quarter stop Pro Mist, that is what I use sometimes. However, I would not recommend using that filter with a situation with a ton of light, because it's just going to be too much. It's going to look too bloomy, and it's going to look a little bit too like bright per se. But yeah, this one's amazing. I love it. The second lens that I would recommend is from Tamron, and this one, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. It's not only probably the best price point versus like a 24 to 70 G Master, which costs probably like... Sorry guys, the camera actually died. But anyways, Tamron. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the G Master, Sony G Master 24 to 70 it's very expensive, and I would really like that lens, but I just don't find it justifiable to spend that much money on a lens. Um, so I chose this one, the Tamron 28 to 75. Hopefully you can see that. And this is a 2.8 aperture lens, and the only issue I have with it is it has a weird, like, kind of magenta green color shift to it, which kind of annoys me, but that's okay. It's a budget lens for under $900, I believe, but versus nearly $2,500, that's a pretty big savings. So I would highly recommend this lens for photography, for just kind of your do-it-all type of lens. But that brings me on to the next topic of batteries. Yeah, don't buy cheap knockoff batteries if you have a Sony camera or you're thinking about getting a Sony camera. In case you're wondering what Sony camera I'm using is the a7 IV, and I sold my a7 III because I decided to kind of go with the whole S-Log fucking trend. That took forever to learn, but the end result, in my opinion, is so much better. But anyways, the a7 IV, I highly recommend that, but you want to get the actual Sony batteries, the ones that cost like $80 a piece. It is expensive, but they are well worth it. The knockoff versions that I bought like on Amazon, they last like less than half the time of what the original Sony batteries would last. So yeah, don't buy a really good camera and get shitty batteries. You will instantly regret it. But as far as other lenses that I would recommend, such as what's being filmed on this video, is the Sony G Master 50mm 1.4, and I would show it to you if I could, but I'm obviously using it right now. That lens is by far the best lens I've ever used, and I actually got it for under $200, which is pretty crazy. From selling my other camera, don't ask me how I did that. It was a good deal from what I got there. So I wouldn't recommend dropping $1,400 on that lens, but in my opinion, it was worth it for the $200, obviously. But if you have the money to spend, definitely you won't be disappointed with that lens at all. It's the best of the best photography lens, I would say. For video, it's a little bit tight, but yeah, I definitely like it in a lot of things, a lot of ways. For audio, which a lot of people kind of disregard, is what I'm using right now is a Sennheiser MKE 600, and that is attached to a Zoom H4n Pro. It's kind of like a budget setup. Maybe not budget, but I don't have to spend a ton of money on that to get like clean audio. And audio is like really important. I learned that the hard way by buying fancy camera gear, and I had a very cheap microphone. Yeah, your eyes or your brain actually registers audio way more than it does the visual aspects, which is interesting. They say that your brain picks up like 80% of the audio. That's apparently like the whole, I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, I took a couple of film classes, and that's what I learned from that. Very interesting. But as far as that goes, good audio, decent camera. I've had like an A7, or not an A7, I had an A6100 camera when I first started, and I did not like that camera at all, so I upgraded. But I thought it was well worth it, and it was pretty good. So that is my recommendations for camera gear. Maybe this will be like kind of a part 1 of that type of video, because there's like so much, and I'm literally a fucking nerd. I'm sorry if you don't like that type of content, but I will occasionally do one of these videos. And if you want me to do more of these videos and kind of in depth of how I do things, like what editing software do I use, how do I work with S-Log, and how do I make the skin look like super accurate, which I don't always do, but it's definitely a learning experience. And making videos is like, it is like probably the most creative thing, in my opinion, that I could have done. And it just really interests me, and I'm really passionate about it. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about fitness. I'm passionate about definitely not Gymshark, because I don't like their clothing anymore, but they used to be good. So anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this video, and definitely comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know which porn camera you're using to film your porn. As always, I will see you guys in the next video.